Oh, yes, yes. Just seen a great fight. The Bradley Ray. He's Tyler Denny. Ray was a slight favorite, but it was fairly even. This is what you used to call a trade fight, you know. Two good fighters giving it their all. I think it was for the English title. I'm not sure. But yeah, Denny was the underdog, but he was relentless. I like a relentless fighter. You know, relentlessly going in and throwing shots and not taking his foot off the gas. Ray would have been considered the up-and-coming prospect. I think he's with Hatton, Ricky Hatton, yeah? And Bradley Ray did it for the fans. like Ricky. Denny was winning the early rounds, you know, and he was hurting Ray, and then boom, in the 9th round, Ray landed some kind of body shot. Ray's like really tall. He looked massive at the weight. Like, you know, he really looked 2 divisions above Denny. But that body shot just took everything out of Denny. But Denny's tough, man. He kept going. He got a bit of a break when the ref told him off and took a point off, which actually let him get some oxygen in. And Ray tried. He hurt him a couple of other times in the round, but he couldn't finish him. He couldn't finish him. And it was a good fight. You know, it was a good fight. It was good. Denny deservedly won. You know, and it's good to see an underdog win over a prospect. You know, everyone's going to say we need a rematch. Yeah. I think this fight definitely is one of the few fights everyone always goes for a rematch. But this fight deserves a rematch, to be honest, because Ray came so close to winning at one point. You know, after being in big trouble. Yeah, that's my boy snoring, man. He didn't watch the fight. Tyson didn't watch the fight. He's been on a long walk, but he missed out. He likes his boxing actually, but he missed out. And this will be the fight of the night. This will be the highlight. I mean, you know. And that's a good thing. You know, I'm actually slightly lifted. We got a good fight out of this whack bill. I think Fraser Clark is next. Hopefully he won't do any twerking. He's fighting Kamil Sokolovsky, who's very tough. I mean, Sokolovsky, I don't know, man. He gets thrown in with prospect after prospect after prospect, you know? Talk about earning money the hard way. And it's not good for his head, you know? I don't agree an extent, a guy risking his head to that level of constantly getting beaten on by prospects. Yeah, he'll give a good fight. You get the occasional result, but come on, man. I don't like to see it, to be honest. It's not worth. I don't know how much he will get paid a reasonable amount, Camel, because he's always ready to go in. But is it worth it to get your brains battered out? You know, I don't know, man. Well, obviously the answer to me is no. Triple B says, Camel, you're a warrior. You're tough. Just stick to. I think he lives in Devon. Of all places, like he's of Polish origin, but he lives in Devon. Like, I don't know what he does every day. Probably building site work, but you know, you're very well respected. You're extremely tough, Just stop. Go to the building site. Maybe run a couple of doors in the local clubs in Devon. But yeah, I just I don't like to see. I don't like this thing where they endlessly push these journeymen and give them half decent purses to get bashed up by a prospect. And the thing about Kamil, unlike, say, guys like Peter Buckley, who are very, very, very certain to defend himself and try not to take shots and take shots on the gloves and the elbows, Kamil likes to have a bit of a war. So, yeah, anyway, that's next. But, yeah, that was a good fight. That lifted me slightly.